You're gonna try to what?
Drag Swint down from wherever he's floating down to the bed.
Okay. And you're able to get a hold of him. You're able to pull him down. And it doesn't seem like the force that's holding him in the air is very strong. But just to be clear, this is going to take your action to move him down to a bed.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, and are you going to hold him there?
I care. Yeah, I'll hold him there. I care more about Swint than I do fighting this ghost.
Okay.
You let go and he goes, Broop.
Zook.
Alright. Zook boogies upstairs.
Oh, he boogies, does he? Okay.
Oh, he boogies everywhere.
You got it. Now, as Zook, when you come up, because these people have engaged in combat, all of the Marines and sailors on the deck are drawing their weapons and starting to close in on her. I don't know that you can get to that square, though. That's pretty far away. Hey, you're a rogue. You can make it. You can probably put yourself wherever you want to go.
Alright, so I run up there. Well, I was trying to, because I had to get somewhere where I could have a shot, but not be, like, on the mast.
No, you're fine where you are. You can shoot from there. Yeah, you got clear line of sight right there. I mean, you're standing right next to the spooky stone coffin.
That's... just sort of behind the mast as well. Or I was trying to be, like, find a shot and then get behind the mast is what I would be thinking to do.
Okay.
Would I have heard Eldove trying to address her from down there?
You did, because by the time Eldove was speaking, you were already on your way up. This is all these turns take place pretty much concurrently, within 6 seconds of each other. So yeah, you absolutely heard Eldove say something.
And acknowledge the fact that he still blasted her?
Whether or not you... I mean, yeah, he still cast the spell. He still tried to blast her.
Well,
I mean, you don't speak Elven, but you heard him say something. I like how Zook has, under his languages, dragon swear words.
Oh, no. I had that specifically to be able to minor illusion dragon swears around corners. That is a very specific thing I was planning for.
So what are you planning with this ghost?
I mean, I don't think Zook is nuanced enough to know anything other than we're attacking this thing, so let's keep attacking this thing.
All right.
With the magic thing that seems to be working.
Gotta hit a 12.
That is a 12, actually.
That is exactly a 12. Zook gets his bow ready, comes running up from the deck, takes position next to the mast, knocks another arrow, lets loose. And again, you see the arrow fly through this ghost, but it takes this spinnerets of gauze off with it that dissipates as it passes. And each of your arrow attacks, you see the thing wince in pain, but it doesn't make a sound.
Well, that's 8 damage if it matters. It doesn't sound like it actually does. It sounds like I'm just pissing it off.
It is Tarin's turn now.
I'm gonna speak into Swint's mind. Swint, are you there? Are you there?
You try to make contact with Swint's mind, and the second you do, you just hear screaming. You can hear a woman screaming, just in absolute anguish, as though in great pain and fright. You actually have to make a wisdom save, my friend.
Okay.
No.
DC 13.
That would be a 20.
20. So, you try to get into Swint's mind to put him at ease, and you make contact with his brain, and you just hear this screaming, and for a second, it shocks your senses, but you manage to keep control of yourself. You manage to keep yourself together. And what do you do after that?
Move up to the deck. I see the ghost, I take it?
Yeah. And, I mean, you have to fight your way through a crowd of sailors and Marines that are giving your team backup here.
And I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
As you do.
Sorry. I know we probably shouldn't be just blasting the shit out of this thing, but
No,
yeah. Y'all are kind of
totally
dicks.
Fun.
Where's
It's
this Eldritch Blast roll? There it is.
It's
I'm trying
undead,
to get the right dice.
and it's holding our friend hostage.
Yeah, speaking of, it's undead, Cleric. Where are you turning it?
That's a good question.
I'm not that kind of cleric. I don't get turn undead.
That's a
It's
20.
not my
Nice.
domain.
So that's a
Not my domain.
crit.
Bullshit kind of Cleric.
and a cleric doesn't know religion or...
You should ask him.
That's
I'm not that interested.
Hey guys, chill, calm down.
The first Eldritch Blast is a crit, and that hits for a total after the critical of 19 force damage.
Okay, what's the second one do?
And then the second beam misses.
Misses. And you send this Eldritch Blast through it, and you see it connect, and it goes through there, and it blasts parts of her spiritual form to all sides. And at this point, she's clawing at what looks like, imagine an invisible wall coming up from the side of the ship, and she's clawing away at it. And her body looks very faded at this point. And she sees that there's no escape. And she sees that you all are intent on murdering her. And she turns around, and she opens up her mouth. And I need Constitution saves from everybody. DC 13.
I assume I could hear it too.
No, you cannot.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you heard it, but you're not under the effect of it. You definitely heard this ghostly woman scream. It's the loudest thing you've ever heard in your life, actually, but
yeah,
you're not affected because you're below deck.
The straight Constitution?
No, Constitution save. So if you are proficient in Constitution save, you add your proficiency bonus to it. Otherwise, yeah, just straight Constitution.
Okay. What do we have to beat?
DC 13.
Yeah.
I failed.
I failed.
Who passed?
Just missed.
Everybody failed. Everybody who failed is at 0 hit points.
Oh, Jesus.
Everybody who failed falls unconscious immediately.
Cool.
So, you're below deck, Orphan, and you hear this terrifyingly loud scream that shakes the whole ship, and then you just start hearing bodies hit the deck. Dozens
and
of
the
them.
bodies hit the floor. And the bodies hit
So,
the floor.
but just to be clear, none of you guys passed. Fred didn't pass. None of the sailors didn't pass. Everybody on deck is down. Yes.
Did Khalil pass?
We don't add. I mean, we don't add Constitution to the roll unless we're proficient into it, right?
No, you do add Constitution.
You do add your Constitution
Proficiency would be
bonus.
an
You do not add
additional
your
bonus.
proficiency bonus.
The character sheet should actually.
Oh, then
have
yeah,
the same.
I totally
use your
I made
saving,
it.
use your saving throw bonus.
I
Okay.
made it. I'm good.
Then Arik, you're standing, and this sound washes over you, and you feel your body dissolving. Like, it feels like this sound is just washing you away. But you stand
Ouch.
firm, and by the time she's done screaming, you look around, and like I said, just you see bodies falling everywhere. Everybody around deck. You are the only. It's just you and this ghost now. And conveniently enough, it is your turn.
Oh man, fuck this ghost. I'm not standing for this. We're gonna do Sacred Flame again.
Okay.
We're gonna do Cure Wounds.
Your haste is gone because Eldove is
Right.
unconscious.
Oh wait.
Oh wait, no. It's...
No, wait.
Uh-huh.
I'm unconscious,
Yes.
and the haste is gone.
Yes.
Uh,
I mean, you can't maintain a
Arik
concentration
and-
spell.
Arik and Orphan, you both, let's see here, can't
Does-
move until after your next turn, and you can't take actions
damn
either.
it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's true.
Is that
Look at this
wait? Is that
spell
what
end.
happened when haste dissolves? Like goes away?
Yeah, when the spell
Yeah.
ends, a wave of lethargy sweeps over its targets, and they can't move or take actions until after their next turn.
So yeah, during this scream, then Arik, you come out the other side and you feel like very woozy. Like your vision is blurred.
Oh,
you see
man.
people all around you just falling down dead, and you keep to your feet just barely, but you don't get a turn. And Orphan, you heard the sound, and the same feeling of lethargy comes over you, and you don't get a turn. Eldove, you need to make a death save, my friend.
Okay.
Straight D10 or D20. You need to beat a 10.
What? I threw it into a bag.
Don't do that. Throw it on the table.
I think that's a 20 then at that point, right?
Failed save.
Alright, I fail.
So mark one failed death save.
We're
Alright.
going to die.
Orphan, your turn is skipped. So you get to act next
Yep.
turn. Though Zook, make a death save. I need to make death saves for everybody on deck. Okay.
I
Zook,
pass.
that's mark one success. Tarin, make a death save. That's a fail.
I failed.
Tarin, mark one failure. Oh, damn it, I looked up the haste spell and lost my ghost. Hold on a second. I had everything set in front of me just how I needed it, and now I don't. Although I do like that about haste. That's hilarious. I didn't know that. Arik, just as you're starting to regain composure, you're starting to come down from what you imagine to be this screaming that just rattled everything around in your skull. And this creature looks at you and it locks its face, and you're suddenly very, like you want to get as far away from this thing as possible. I need you to make me a Wisdom save, DC 13.
Wisdom. Alright.
And you're proficient in Wisdom, so this...
Yeah.
Like, the character sheet we're using automatically adds in your bonus for you if you're proficient, so it's that +6 there.
It's just the +6, alright.
Put the microphone back in your mouth.
Okay. Oh.
So that's a fail.
Oh.
So, you're frightened. What this means is you have disadvantage on all rolls against the ghost, and you cannot willingly move towards it.
Okay.
You can still attack it, but any roll requires disadvantage.
Oh, sorry, I got this cough.
Yeah, but I don't think Sacred Flame does, and it is your turn.
Hold on, let me look something up here.
Okay.
Because I don't like... well, let me ask this first off. I'm assuming any healing spell will bring allies back from making death rolls and shit,
any
right?
hit points you give them... once they come back to positive hit points, they clear all their death saves, and they regain consciousness immediately.
Alright. Let this also be a lesson to actually read your spells before you select them.
The other thing you can do if you don't have the spell charges, you can make either a medicine check or just a straight dice roll to stabilize them.
So I'm going to cast Prayer of Healing. Up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within range.
Okay.
Each regain hit points equal to 2d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier.
Okay. Well, you can see 4 PCs here.
Yep.
And you said what, up to 6? Or, did you say up to 6 or up to 8?
Up to 6.
Up to 6. So you can get these 4 guys, and we'll say you can get Swent and Haas.
Alright.
Just
I will
because
do that then.
They're the named PCs. Okay, and they get how much back?
2d8. Let's see is... Oh, are you rolling it?
Oh, I guess you should roll it. That's a good idea. I mean, you could have actually rolled 2d8 at once. You want to pick it up again.
I know I could have. 5.
And it's 2d8 plus what?
Okay, yeah, so 13. Plus my spellcasting ability modifier, so 13 plus... Ability modifier. 6.
Nice.
19?
So
19.
everybody in the range gets 19 hit points
19
back.
hit points.
Okay.
And you all regain consciousness as Arik plunges his trident, tines down into the deck, and utters a prayer to Osprem, and rejuvenates the whole lot of you.
But you all smell a little salty.
And you do smell a
I
little
have as
fishy.
much health as Orphan now.
Yeah.
So you guys can go ahead and wipe your death saves, and Eldove, you get an action.
Alright, well, fuck this ghost. This ghost is shit.
It has 2 hit points left. Do your worst.
It has 2 hit points left?
Yeah.
I cast Scorching Ray.
That's what, a dex save, or is that it's a hit on your part?
That's a 2 hit on my part.
Well, let's roll it. Let's not stand around anymore. That 2 of those hit, and you can't do less than 1 damage. So
Only 2 hit? Why?
because that's all it needed. That's all you need.
No,
Like,
no.
literally, it has 2 hit
down.
points.
Sir,
There's nothing
you
left
need-
to hit after that.
You
need to-
burn it alive. You throw the first
need to
2
cool
rays, and it burns in place, and
No,
it's gone.
I
And then you throw the
first
3rd
3
one.
rays. Oh, calm down.
Nodal wants all of his action.
And immediately after he gets back on his feet, Fred sets to work using all his spell charges to cast Cure Wounds on the fallen sailors, because they're all still down making death saves.
Yeah, I'm doing
so.
that. I am joining him. I'm doing the same thing.
Is anybody on deck not aiding in bringing the sailors back up, getting them stabilized?
Wait,
Well,
So, are we out of initiative?
Yes,
I'll aid as
initiative's
soon
done.
as you acknowledge the fact that I just did 24 fire damage.
You did 2 damage. You did 2 damage because nothing can go below 0 hit points. You did 2 damage
What's
and
its
chose
max
to kill it.
HP?
What's that?
What's its max HP?
Doesn't matter.
So our support
You did 2
is
damage.
getting
Congratulations.
the crew back on their feet. They seem to be doing that excellent. I will go over and inspect the comms at this point to see if there have been any changes after the ghost was driven off.
Okay.
Was there any change as well to Swent when the ghost died?
All you know is
I'm still there right next to
You
him.
heard this horrific scream. You felt very, very woozy for about 10 seconds. And by the time your vision clears, and by the time you're able to move again, Swent is slumped down on the bed where you left him.
Alright. I want to, like, take his pulse, see if he's alive.
Oh, he's alive. I mean, you don't know how to take somebody's pulse, but he's breathing.
Well, I have some medical training.
So over the course of the next minute, you guys are getting the sailors back up on their feet. You go to check the coffin. It is not changed. Stone coffin. The lid is crashed below on the deck, and there are bones inside.
Well, that was spooky.
Is it still consecrated?
How would you know?
Asking our priest.
You have to cast Detect Evil on it again.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and sheath my sword then and get to
Sure, I'll do that.
moving around and healing people.
Okay.
Does it seem like Swent's fever is broken? I mean, I know he's out, but is he just like still sweaty?
Make a medicine check, DC 12. And Tarin, by the time you get one of your sailors has died in the attack. You were not able to save all of them. Just one of the random crewmen. You can go ahead and delete whichever one you want. Well, actually, roll a d20.
Sure.
Because if it's a 1 or a 2, it's one of the female sailors. Because I know you wanted females aboard. Let's see if you lost one of your women folk.
Oh, sorry, I should do it in the game, shouldn't I? Well, I think they're at the top of the list anyway, so.
I failed that medicine.
And one of the women.
You killed our women, Captain.
So one of your female sailors is dead.
I have to pick up some more women folk.
Yeah, I mean, you're going around stabilizing, but by the time you get to the bow of the ship, where she was standing with her sword out in hand, ready to fight to the death for your cause, Captain, shock was just too much for her to take. And her brains are liquefied.
Okay. We can cast Mending on her brains. We got a cleric now.
What terrible, horrible thing you want me to do?
So what's the plan with this coffin, then?
I think they want me to cast Detect Evil on it.
Okay, how did that medicine check go, Orphan?
I failed it.
You failed it. All you know is Swent's laying there and he's breathing. That's it. He's still covered in sweat. He's not rising up out of the bed anymore, though.
All right. Well, I'll try to make him comfortable. I'll put him back in the bed so he's just not so slumped over.
Okay. And I mean, as you're standing in there, Arvin comes back into the room to check over him and ask you to give him some space.
All right, so I back off and let Arvin
Starts mopping his brow. So back up with the coffin. Fred finishes administering what aid he can to the sailors. Things seem to be calming down a little bit. Dead silence.
Detect Evil on it?
I cast Detect Evil on the coffin.
It's been desecrated. Some asshole has taken his coffin and pried it the fuck open.
Alright. There you go, then.
What does that actually mean? Explain that to the ignorant gnome.
It means that someone has essentially soiled the sanctity of this grave.
Yeah.
This grave was consecrated in such a way pertaining to whatever religion originally buried this woman, and somebody came along and pried it open haphazardly.
This wasn't... What is the history of this ship?
Are you asking us?
Yes, I'm asking you.
There's like 2 people on board the ship who know anything about its history.
Arvin would probably be the best person to ask, I believe, at this point.
Arvin is busy tending to Swent, so any inquiries about the history of the ship, he's got better things to do.
Wait, is it actually desecrated, though? Because it only detects magical desecration.
Well, I mean, we pried open a coffin.
But did we magically pry it open?
It's been desecrated.
It's been desecrated.
It very clearly has. I mean, you guys know. I mean, the captain knows as much of the history of the ship as anybody. This is the first you're hearing about this coffin, though.
Well, the ship was originally from a different world. It was originally a pirate ship. There were some necromancer.
A pirate ship.
Yes, this was originally a pirate ship. There was a necromancer who boarded charge, killed their priest, and started navigating them between worlds with some strange magical rubies. Or wait, emeralds.
Yeah.
And started kidnapping people for unknown reasons. many of the crew at this point, and I'll motion to myself and Zook and Orphan, are people who were kidnapped from disparate worlds by this man. And that's as far back history-wise as I know. Arvin, the surgeon and cook, and Balin, the first mate, are both from the original world that the ship was on, and they originally signed on for it. But other than that, at this point, it's a band of misfits.
And Balin is standing close to hand when you say that. And he says, the captain before Tarin, his name was Bren. Bren was a good man before we took the necromancer on board. He says, I signed on with Bren a year or two back. And we've had good pillage in that time.
And I'm assuming you had no... Do you have any idea where this coffin came from?
Balin shakes his head. He says, I haven't seen it before. As far as I know, it wasn't here before the captain spent banana.
Brick, out of character question.
Sure.
How do we differentiate between what I could possibly determine versus what my character could possibly determine? Since I have an inkling of what this ship might actually be, but I don't know if my character... Yeah.
Send me your guess over aim, and I'll make a judgment. Let's see.
The way I tend to go with stuff like that is if I'm not 100% certain because of something out of character, I'll just say it.
No, that's not correct.
All right, cool.
No, I mean, this ship... And you, as far as you know, this ship was a pirate ship until this captain got a hold of it, and this captain led this ship to more noble exploits, which is what drew you to it to begin with.
All right.
Well, Arik, I hate to say it, but this is going to be your department, and we're gonna have to bury our sailor.
Noble exploits, harboring prisoners and desecrating graves.
All right, I will help with the burial of the sailor at sea.
What's to be done with the stone coffin?
I want to see how Swint recovers before I do anything else with it, personally.
So just leave it there? Okay.
We'll close it.
You put the lid back on it? Probably for the best. Yeah. Over the course of the next day, Swint makes a full recovery. And Tarin, when you visit him the next day, you see him in better spirits than you have since the island. And when you approach him, he looks up and he says, Captain, I apologize. I didn't mean for any of that to take hold of me.
Do you know what happened? I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about you, man.
And he shakes his head and he's, I'm as confused as you are, but it seems to be gone now. I don't feel her in my mind anymore.
How long had that been going on?
He says, by your leave, Captain, since the island.
Well, next time some sort of strange ethereal ghost takes a hold of your mind, please tell me, Swint.
And I don't know about any ghosts. I didn't see her. I fell back under the fever as soon as we pried that coffin open.
You ever seen anything like that before? You're a man of the sea.
Swint shakes his head. So everybody's heard tales, but...
Alright, at this point I'm probably going to order the coffin thrown overboard unless the priest has any objection to it.
Does the priest have any objection?
I mean, if you think it's more correct that we find, like, land and bury it, I can do that too.
I'm not 100% down with the idea of throwing this ancient elven
artifact off the
fucking ship.
The bones are still inside it, right?
Yes.
The bones are inside of it.
Then let's put the coffin back where we found it.
In the bilge, really?
Yes.
Well, we don't really need. Yeah, we don't need Ka down there anymore.
Ka's been out of there for a little bit.
Let's just seal it back up. We can worry about it later once we hit land.
We've already done terrible, horrible things to this tomb. Let's not make it worse.
No, okay. If that's your professional opinion, I guess so. Tarin obviously looks very confused.
That's my opinion.
Alright, well, that's what I brought you aboard for.
Alright, so the men set to work, prying the boards back up, placing the coffin back down in the bilge, hammering it down into place. Then there's just the question of your fallen sailor. Do you send her out to sea?
That was, again, I put the priest in charge of that.
Yeah. Whatever the ritual rites are for that.
And for Ostrom, for someone at sea, you would kind of just dump him overboard. cover them
to the sea.
Say a prayer, and yeah, just relinquish them to the sea.
Return to the sea.
Do you want me to set them on fire?
No. In fact,
No.
very much not.
Please don't.
Because Osprem's whole thing, she's actually one of the goddesses of Greyhawk, one of like the old first edition settings. And like her thing is like she's fine with people fishing in the ocean because sometimes the ocean bites back. That's kind of Osprem's whole thing. She's big on dolphins too. She sometimes takes the form of a dolphin.
Alright, well, you know what, Orphan? Let's do it. I have Ryler set a course for the head of this river that heads up to the plantation.
Alright. Orphan just nods with satisfaction.
So you're going to sail up the
Good choice.
Romneus coast?
Yep.
And go to the Udok plantation.
Yeah, we'll take a longboat up the river.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll bring Tager with us. Do you think he'll actually be willing to come with us before we even visit the place?
Well, let's invite him anyway.
You have a better rapport with him.
Nobody has spoken to Traeger in like a week.
Just to be clear here, also, these people don't know we're coming, and also don't like Nick's character anymore.
They don't. These guys don't necessarily know that because it's not like the Udoks are, in constant communication with their parents.
You don't know that actually.
That's
For
true.
all you know, they write letters every day. You have no idea how often the kids write their parents. In fact, the children both seemed very proud of their parents' stature in the world.
If you want, I can send a message to either of them for you, Orphan.
To either of who?
Either of the Udoks I've met. But, well, no, I only met the girl, so I can only talk to her.
I just waved them off. I'm sure that won't be necessary.
And Eldove, since you gave the sending stone to Humberth, he is going to require daily updates as to how the hunt for Gendred is going.
Alright, I'm going to tell him that as we don't have any leads at the moment, we're currently dropping off one of the sailors, and then we're thinking of what was the idea that we had?
Well, right now we're waiting for the runes.
Yeah,
to
we're
get
waiting for that guy
translated.
to. Yeah, maybe we can drop Ka off too at this.
No,
place.
he's not leaving our side. I don't trust anyone else with him.
We're waiting, and I'll tell them we're waiting on the runes to be translated. Was it?
Yes.
Yes.
He's translating an unreadable book. They have a book of runes that they got from Gendred's possessions that they're not able to read, but Ka claims to have a cantrip that he can use to read this book.
Alright, well, condense that down as 25 words. That's what I said.
Okay. And he sends one back, acknowledged. Humberth has received the message. So you're sailing up the coast. Does everybody have time for one more encounter? So I wanted to end at 8 tonight. It's only 7:30.
Yeah.
You're sailing up the coast, and a rain squall washes in, and it's kind of unpleasant. And it leaves a dense fog, and the wind is kind of lackluster at the moment. You put the coffin back. We can
erase the dick on the deck.
The good old dick cough.
And whoever, I guess it would be Zook, up in the crow's nest.
Sure.
You spot a shape way off in the distance, buried deep in the fog. And it looks to be a ship.
This is in the ocean?
In the ocean, yeah. You're sailing just out, just within sight of the Romneus coast. So you're pretty far out in the ocean, but you can get back to the coast within a day. So you're not way out in the deep ocean. You're not way out by the islands.
Spell charges have all come back and everything.
Yes,
took
a
a
long
long
rest will happen between now and then.
That's what I thought.
All right.
Alright,
Well,
cool.
I holler down that I spotted a vessel.
Zook says he spots a vessel dead ahead.
Any idea of the marking, Zook?
You can only see the shape of a ship. The fog is very
I
dense.
only see the shape of. I relay that.
Balin, bring us around close, but not too close. Just sail casual.
You get closer,
Casual.
and as you do, you notice the ship does not have a mainsail. Its mainmast has been destroyed. The ship is just standing still in the water, and there are no souls aboard that you can see. When you get close enough to it, the ship is christened the Annihilator. And it's a small boat. It's smaller than Adric's Honor. Considerably so. Maybe a crew of... actually, I can just look at my thing here. Give me 1 second, and I can check.
Look in my thing.
I'm probably going to have order Balin to drop anchor once we see that there's no sail and make an away party on one of the longboats.
Of course we are. Never an option was to just ignore the shit and keep on sailing, is it?
Yeah, this is a small ship meant to be fast, perhaps.
Zook, do you want to
maybe
go
a
check
crew
it out?
of 8s.
We can take prizes now. I'm sure as hell
Not in
gonna
these
leave that
waters, you
ship.
can't. You're in Romneus waters. He has a letter
God
of marque
damn it.
for Tetluteus waters.
Zook, would you care to go check it out?
From what I see, we're pulling alongside of it now, right?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Does
you can
it
either
look like?
take a longboat over to it, or you can set a gangplank.
Does,
Well, I don't want to get the main ship close enough for a gangplank. I'm gonna do a longboat, but I'm asking Zook, do you want to fly?
do I want to fly? Oh, is that what you're asking me? Does Zook have any? Would Zook have any reason to believe that this is a that there would be treasure on this ship? What kind of ship does it look like?
Every ship you've ever been on, which as far as I know is this one, has had mountains of treasure on it.
Awesome. Then Zook is all about looking for treasure on this ship.
Okay.
All right, go skim it once and give us a report. I cast fly on Zook.
Okay, I'll go fly on this thing alone. You know what? As a matter of fact, before I do that, I'm going to use one. I'm going to use a invisibility charge.
You know what you have to do.
What? Oh wait, that's right. I do have a thing I have to do, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do.
I have to find the item on my sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if it looked like I was just moving random things around. I was testing my connection.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
That's cool.
So before he casts the spell on me, and then I say, do I have to take the thing in my hand or whatever, or do I just say it while
You
it's
just have
on
to hold
me?
the amulet, but we're waiting for you to
Alright.
say the magic words.
Lulapiho Luluwile.
What?
And Zook blinks out of sight. He is now invisible.
Did you say that one more time?
No, it would burn a charge.
And what, Zook? You've got a couple minutes of invisibility and a couple minutes of flight.
Yeah, no, I'd fly over to the ship.
And do what? Sit down on the deck?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going as quick as possible, looking for anything. What does the ship look like when I fly over to the deck?
Looks like this.
Oh, good. It looks like an encounter.
So here's the deck, and flying over it, you see it's in disarray. There are ballistas and things. Some have been fired, some have not. Some are toppled over. You see 3 entrances, possible entrances to the hold, but heavy things have been stacked upon them. Planks of wood, mostly planks and bales of wood, actually. One of the ballistas has been rolled over on one of them. And against the mast here, you see a figure stooped down in front of it with a cloak over his head, and you cannot make out his features. How close do you get to the ship? Do you set down, or do you just...
I don't want to actually... I'm not actually touching it, but I'm hovering, you know, a couple feet off the ground around the deck right now.
Put your actual marker down. Nick, you're going to be chic again for this encounter, because I didn't... Oh, you know what? No, I did,
That's fine.
actually. I did
Fair
save
enough.
it to the chest this time. I'm going to get your guy out.
Which direction is the Adrix Honor at?
It can be wherever Tarin says it is. Tarin,
I will pull up.
get your pencil and just put an X, the direction of Adrix Honor. So wherever the purple X is, that's the direction the Adrix Honor
My
is.
pencil tool is locked, actually.
Oh, well, is it?
It's
Yeah.
gray.
Yeah.
All right, I
Yeah,
promoted
you don't want a strong
There you
dicks.
Now you can do it.
Alright.
For simplicity.
So it's okay. It's over there.
Alright. All right, so I'm approaching from this direction then. So I'm,
Yeah.
you know, initially about here.
So there's no mainmast, and the figure is right here.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you set down on the ship, or are you just flying a couple feet above it, or what?
I'm a little squeamish about even making contact with the ship at this point. So I'm like flying about a foot off the ground.
Okay. As you close in towards the mainmast, you hear banging sounds on these 2 doors. That sounds like fists banging up from below.
Okay, and you said that there's the points of entry are here, here, and here.
Yes.
But there's something blocking them?
Yeah, there's a ballista that's been rolled over on top of this one. One of these, couple of these heavy ballistas. Bales of wood, like stacks of what look like firewood or building materials, stacked up on the other two.
Okay, and there's no other side. There's no like galley or anything back here. That's just these points of entry.
No, there's a room back here, what you presume to be the captain's quarters, and that door is closed but not barred.
I come over here to where this guy is cloaked.
Okay. And you see next to him on the deck, the man there's an axe laying in front of him, a worn axe, and next to him on the deck. And looking at the mask now, you can see where the mask is not broken. It looks like he has chopped it off. And part of the deck is damaged where this mask's long since fallen over. But next to him, on the floorboard, he's used this axe to carve something in the deck. Words. And you get closer to read, and this is what you see.
That's interesting.
And the longer you sit here regarding the carving on the ground and the figure before you, who's very much dead, by the way. This man is emaciated.
Yeah.
He died of exposure.
Right.
And that's what you see on the deck, right? Where you're stooping.
Is he, if I investigate him really quickly, I mean, does he look like a captain or anything, or? Said he's got a cloak on him. Is there anything about his clothing I can see?
You'd have
quickly?
to remove his cloak.
Alright, fine. Against all my better judgment, I want to pull his cloak down.
And you do. And you pull the cloak down, and like I said, the man is emaciated. He's been on this deck God knows how long with no supplies. He died here of exposure. Dressed just like a crewman. Like a typical sailing man.
Okay.
He doesn't seem to be wounded, though.
Okay.
His clothes don't seem to be tattered or slashed or anything. He died of starvation, it looks like.
Hopefully quickly before my invisibility runs out, I want to check the captain's door.
Okay, and it's open.
Alright, and I go in.
And you enter, and the room has a little table in it, some side tables over here with various implements on it. The bed for the captain, +1. Nice, large captain-sized bed. But it'll take you several actions to search this room, and your invisibility doesn't last that long.
Well, but there's no people in here.
There's no people in here, no.
Okay. Do I have enough flight time to fly on back?
Oh yeah, you have 10 minutes of flight.
Yeah. How long does this last?
I think I think it's a 2d4 minutes, but he didn't roll. I'll just give it to him. Doesn't matter.
Oh. Yeah, you didn't tell me to roll. I didn't
No,
know
that's
what I
fine.
had to do for this. I've never used it before.
You're done scouting now. Yeah, you hear the banging on all 3 of the entrances down into the hold.
Well, since they're apparently not going to be a threat to me, and I have a few more minutes of flight than I do of invisibility, I actually will break the invisibility, holler down there, and ask, "Who are you? Who's down there?"
And you get loud moans in response. And the banging intensifies.
Are they speaking another language, or
they're not speaking anything? They're moaning.
Oh, that sounds good.
You hear groans and yeah, it's pretty bad. Roll initiative.
Okay. I think we need to burn this mother down.
I think you need to roll initiative.
Wait, what?
You need to roll initiative.
Motherfucker.
That's what you get flying around all that way.
That's what you get talking while you're invisible.
Well,
You're like, let me make sure that I can't be detected, and then address it.
You did dismiss your invisibility. You did say it.
I know.
Don't blame me for that. Not my fault.
That's what happens when I speak, right? I mean, that just happens when I speak.
You read the words "set afire"
I
and
thought
then
it
hear
was-
moans from the inside of a death ship. What do you do? I just
thought
missed
it
my
was
invisibility.
when you attack or cast a spell that made you
No, he said he stayed because he had more
he did dismiss it.
flight than invisibility. So, what
Alright,
is your
whatever.
initiative? What'd you get?
14.
14. And you have the initiative.
All right, I want to fly back to the ship.
Okay. And you do.
Because
You bail. And you fly back to the Adric's Honor, and you get there, and everybody's standing around, waiting to hear what you saw.
And I quickly tell them we need to burn this ship down. Well, I tell them what I saw. I tell them exactly what I saw.
Go ahead, tell them.
There's a dead guy up there. He carved set a fire on the deck, and it sounds like they have something unholy trapped beneath the decks.
Well then, sounds like we need to set it afire.
Now hold on a second here.
Eldove, voice
Since
of
when
reason.
do you ever have a problem setting things on fire?
You know, guys, let's leave everybody in suspense for a minute. Take 5, because my wife just got home from work. I'm gonna go greet her,
Okay,
grab a
I'm gonna
Pepsi,
use the bathroom real quick.
and we come back. We will see what terrible decision you all have made.
All right, time for
See you guys in 5
commercial
minutes.
break
If there's something I know about zombies, it's that they have treasure. So we could just set them on fire.
Hey, if you want to go fight your way through hordes of zombies, I'm more than willing to help you from a safe distance with my bow and arrow.
If there's one thing we learned last week, I think it's that I'm wanting to worm my way through hordes of zombies.
All right, I'm gonna get water right back.
Alright, this will give me a few minutes of quality time with chat. How's chat doing tonight, guys? How's it all going? My lovely wife is out there making me a sandwich at the moment.
Is the sandwich also lovely?
That's misogynistic of me. I'm like, bitch, make me a sandwich. But she's going to make it because she loves me.
What kind of sandwich?
It's got ham and pepperoni and provolone cheese and pickles and little pepperoncinis. So it's going to be pretty delicious. I'm kind of psyched. Pretty stoked for the sandwich. Whew. But yeah, we use that new initiative rules that I was telling you about, Nodal. The popcorn initiative rules. And it works really well for our group. The way it works is everybody rolls initiative, but only the highest initiative matters. Whoever wins the initiative, that person takes a turn, and then they pick who goes next, and it daisy chains like that around the table. So at some point you have to pick the monsters to give them an action too. And why it worked is because everybody had to pay more attention to the combat. There were no instances where somebody takes a turn and then, oh, now I can sit back for 2 minutes and not pay attention because I know when my next turn is coming up. So it really worked around my Saturday table.
Here was my problem with it when Brickroad described it to me, is that I said, yeah, Brickroad, but I know you, and what you're going to do is when we tell the monsters they can go, you're going to go, no, actually you go, and then we're going to have an instance where the monsters go twice in a turn in one shot.
Well, see, no, you can't actually do that, because, like, say I've got goblins out, I'd have 5 goblins, and all the goblins act on the same initiative, no matter what system you use. So, like, Nodal will say, okay, now it's the goblins' turn. Now the goblins have to take their turn. They don't have a choice. They have to act.
What if there's, like, a goblin and a dragon?
Then I can have the goblin act and then the dragon acts.
So, but would you do that? Or
Absolutely.
Would you say,
but the PCs have that same advantage.
No, what I'm saying is, what I think you would do is we would say, we would wait until the goblins went last, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Well, if the goblins went last, they would go, okay, now the dragon goes. First action, next turn. And I would go, okay, then the dragon picks the goblins to go. So it would go goblins, dragon,
and then the
goblins.
goblins pick the dragons again.
No, because the dragon would have already acted that turn. Well, I mean, that's your fault, though. Don't put all the enemies at the very end of the turn. Break them up over the course of the turn, and I don't have that advantage.
Brickroad, I have 2 quick questions for you.
Yes, sir.
First one, because of my last level up, I took an extra expertise, and one of them is perception.
Uh-huh.
Does that affect? That should affect my passive perception too, right?
Oh yes, it does.
That is the reason to pick perception. Yes.
Right. So when you look at my perception score, you need to add an extra proficiency bonus. So I should actually have 18 passive perception, just in case that ever comes up.
Did not roll anything against your passive perception, so it didn't come up.
Just in case it comes up. My second question is, out of character, I spooked because initiative came up, but in character, Zook really was wanting to get out of there, basically, pretty quickly.
I don't understand. Was it the banging? Was it the moaning? Was it the dead guy? Was what?
Right.
Was it the horrible warning carved into the what? I don't quite understand here.
Yeah. My question is just to be clear, I didn't see anything.
You saw nothing. Nothing.
I saw nothing. All right, just wanted to make sure.
And just so you know, in these situations, I might have you roll initiative just specifically to spook you. You might not have been about to get attacked.
That's entirely. But I was planning on getting out of there pretty much as soon as I heard ungodly moans.
When Orphan went down into the bar, I thought they were going to be 100% friendly, and you asked for initiative because you wanted Orphan to go on a mass massacre inside
How
of the...
funny would that have been?
Oops, sorry.
Oh, my sandwich is here. Thank you.
So basically, I go back and I tell them there is definitely bad juju on this ship. We can go back there and try to be surgical about it, or we could just frickin' burn the thing from here.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's two problems I have with that plan. One, this is a ship with zombies on it, so if there's any treasure on that ship, that belongs to whoever can take out those zombies.
Well,
Two,
you don't know anything about zombies. The phrase you heard was bad juju.
I heard moaning.
Yeah,
We heard bad juju.
I describe it to them. But I have no way of knowing if it's mummies or zombies or...
Well,
I have no idea.
mummies, you've met mummies and they did not moan. Mummies made no sound. They shambled, but they didn't moan.
But it did not sound like any attempt at language.
Number two, we're looking for a necromancer.
And that was what I was just going to say. If it is an undead thing, there may be something there we need.
Yeah, no, Tarin's all for taking an away party over on one of the longboats.
This seems to me like a bad idea.
Everybody roll wisdom 10.
Okay.
Arik, you can roll it too. DC 1.
You fail.
I finally passed something. Alright.
Tarin passed.
Oh, it was
I got
Arik.
an 8.
I did call
What
it break.
did you say
Did the break end too early? I don't know if Eric's here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm
You're a
trying to
priest.
grab
You
it.
can turn undead. you have the channel divinity trait to turn undead.
No, I don't.
Yes, you
My
do.
channel
Every cleric gets it.
Every cleric gets it.
Yeah, everybody gets
Are you
turned undead.
sure?
Positive.
Yes.
Even as a Tempest
Yep.
cleric?
Yep. The Tempest
All
thing
right.
is an alternate
Cool.
ability to use the channel.
Yeah. No, your
See, 'cause
Tempest, that
that's-
grants you an additional thing to use channel divinity on. You could use it either way.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's
But-
totally why I didn't use it against the ghost.
I was wondering myself a little bit.
All right.
So I remember telling you
what
on AIM, because I told you to add it. Did you add it to your sheet?
You
You did. Well, it says Destructive
yeah, I did.
Wrath.
Yeah. All right.
I thought you did add it to your sheet. Oh, you must
But
not
yeah,
have.
Tarin's gonna suggest a longboat go over with the player characters, Fred, and I'll see if Swint wants to row. Good to have you back, Swint.
Swint
Back in
asks
the
if,
thick of things.
he seems a little apprehensive, and he asks if that's an order.
No.
He said then, by your leave, Captain, I'd prefer to remain here. I've had quite enough of ghosts and such.
Fair enough. I don't, and I'm going to talk over the mind link. I don't entirely trust the 2 Marines we brought on board in Kiska, so keep an eye on them for me. Would
You don't trust Hespu?
No, not Hespu. I said the 2. He knows which 2 I'm talking about.
Well, he doesn't actually. He has no idea you have reason to mistrust the men you just hired, and he kind of looks at you and something I should know, Captain.
They're more in, and this is more over the mind link. They're more interested in doing things for the guild, and I mostly brought them on so we wouldn't have warships chasing them down. So I'm not necessarily thinking they'll backstab us in the fight, but make sure they don't go below deck where they're not supposed to while I'm gone.
Is that why they're not allowed below deck? It's alright. I'll make sure to keep an eye on them.
Excellent. Hespu, you're with us. You're Owen. Me and you.
Grins widely, so everybody's gonna pile into a longboat. Any PCs staying behind?
No.
Oh, I do get turn on dead. Awesome. All right.
No, trust me.
So
If everyone else is going, Zook is totally on board. He just was not a fan of being over there by himself.
So Hespu, if there's any skeletons with the zombies, are you gonna eat them?
Hespu just grins. So I only eat bones in the ring, my friend. Out here, I'm just Hespu. Unless, and he looks over to Tarin, unless that's the order.
Not for now. Fred's with us, too.
Yes. So let me go ahead and get
All right.
Fred out. So everybody, you can go ahead and, I guess I should get Hespu. What color should Hespu be? He's going to be red.
God damn it, Nodal.
Why is
gonna be
Nodal
at the
doing
front of the
awful
longboat.
things?
No, listen, we don't need Barth anymore, so he's just taking a nap in
So-
the sky.
The part of the ship that is damaged would be this area here, where the mast fell over, damaged part of the deck. But you can make your landing onto the deck basically wherever you want. So go ahead and put yourself on the deck where you want to be standing. Go ahead and place Hespu and Fred as well, since you're
Sword
kind
and
of...
shield out, by the way.
Now, by sword, you mean your pack weapon.
Yeah,
He
I
only has one
sword.
sword.
No, he has many swords. He's the captain of a pirate ship. He can have whatever sword he wants.
So I'm bringing a torch, and I tell Tarin, look, if things go bad, you know, we need to get off soon, and we need to set the thing afire.
I generally assume that if things go bad, that's Eldove's plan for everything.
Actually, scamper up here.
Initiative, all around.
Awesome. I like my old one better.
All right, 14.
Whoops. That's not a do.
Orphan got 14.
20?
Eldove got 20 because he's
What
cheating
is
again.
with you?
Zook!
Tarin acts at 3.
Tarin acts at 3.
4.
Wow, you guys. You should take a
Yep.
page out of Eldove's book and start cheating on your initiative rolls.
Well, the thing is I threw my dice right in the middle of the word fire, so I got a luck bonus.
16.
And Arik got 16. Okay. Is everybody placed on the deck where they want to be standing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Eldove, you have
What's
the
Zook
initiative.
doing over there?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Well, what's,
Alright,
where's Fred and Hespu?
Oh, they'll be behind me.
All right, I am now.
Behind you
will
is standing
stay
in the
along.
water?
Hespu will stay in the longboat. Fred will be on deck behind me. Hespu's
Where did the
in case-
longboat pull up?
Right here,
On the
I'm
side
assuming.
where I am. Yeah.
There is no behind you. Behind you is in the longboat. Because you're standing right on the edge of the deck.
Can I just put Fred there then?
Yes, you can put Fred there. That's fine.
Okay. And I'll have Hespu be ready to sail back. In fact,
And-
I'll have him keep enough distance that if the ship starts to go down, it doesn't get pulled under. And
Eldove.
I'll say, I'll whistle.
Alright, yeah.
That's sign
I
whistle?
am going-
Okay. What's
Yep.
he supposed to do at whistle?
Get back so we can get back on the longboat. Like, otherwise, just keep a few feet away, like 10 feet or so.
Okay.
Alright, I am going to... Who wants haste?
I'll take some haste.
I am going to...
I
need-
take it, but
I
I
need
would prefer to
willing
wait till we
people
actually
here.
have something to fight. Like,
Yeah, we don't have anything to fight yet.
It'll last for
Yeah.
a minute.
Zook is way up
Alright.
here. Okay.
Alright, yeah, in that case, fuck it. I will walk over here. Is this the hatch with the undead behind it?
You will go over to that hatch, and there are piles of bundles of wood, what look like construction material, stacked on top of it, and you hear banging and scratching and moaning emanating from below.
Oh, fuck it. Someone's gonna open this thing up. I cracked that sucker open.
Well, your action will be to be dragging this wood off of it.
Oh, okay. Then I drag the wood off of it. And I'll drag it, like, over here or something.
I'll say you can drag it here on this turn.
Alright, I drag the wood there, and then I go over here then.
No, this will be the end of your movement.
Ah, you are a monster.
You have giant, heavy, but no, you know what? You're here,
Yeah.
right here. Because you're not standing on the
I think
bundle, Nodal. You're standing here,
Where do you want me?
here. Because you moved the wood from here to here. You didn't have time to retreat.
The only movement that I could make is twisting.
You're moving hundreds of
twisting
pounds
in
of
the
material. Be glad I'm giving it to you in one round. Listen to this guy arguing.
I know.
I should make him take
I might
3
be a
rounds to move
min-maxer,
it all.
but I don't do that.
I didn't even make you roll a strength check. I thought I was being generous. Nodal's all like,
Oh, I figured you were gonna make it take assistance.
You said there was wood on there. I didn't know there was hundreds of pounds.
I
of
said
wood, like more
piles
wood
of
than the
bundles of
mightiest
construction
forest.
material. So,
I didn't know there was a redwood shortage because they had
Alright,
taken all the
but now
wood
you
from
do.
one.
Nodal,
Now you
let's
know.
let him get it all out of his system. Nodal, go ahead. Go keep complaining. We'll wait till you're
I didn't know
totally
that-
done.
I didn't know that the people on this ship had been planning to build a tree forest up in the mast.
Are you done now?
Alright, now I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done. That's it.
Nodal, you miss your next turn.